What was your first year like for you? What was it like experiencing that, making that 16,000?
I had something else on the side, of course, supplementing. 16,000 just helped me to know it's a real thing, and I need to stick with it and knuckle down and focus. And that's what I did. And year 2 was so much better.
What do you feel like made you successful within PHP, both that first year and up till now? Because I know at our big event in Atlanta, you got your watch, your 50K watch.
Yeah, exactly.
And went up on stage and talked about it.
That was like a shock. That was a surprise. I would just say, I tell people the secret sauce is...
So LaToya, tell me more about yourself.
Sure. So I am a mother. My daughter is 6. She'll be 7 in April. She's really the apple of my eye. I'm an entrepreneur. My background is actually in accounting as well as financial services. So financial services since 2018. I've been in accounting for over 21 years. I have a heart for people. My biggest thing is I like to take kind of complex situations and make them very, very simple, but fun. Very fun personality. Very much just really looking forward to having impact in the community. But that's me. That's LaToya.
And so with regards to the financial services side, so what do you do in financial services?
So with financial services, I actually have been affiliated with PHP Agency, and they recently merged with Integrity Marketing Group. And so basically what we do is we market for the top insurance companies in the industry. And so we basically specialize in helping people reduce their taxes, long-term care, plan for unforeseen death, as well as, of course, life insurance. So that's the financial services aspect. And we also have solutions around retirement. So just being able to take my accounting background and expand it into financial services to be able to offer some products to help people with saving on their taxes. It's become a great marriage.
How did you find PHP?
Actually, a stranger approached me in my DM, direct messenger on Facebook back in September of 2022. And it's ironic because I was literally looking for something more than just chasing tax returns, or, I'm also a published author, just trying to sell another book. So when the individual reached out to me, his whole thing was, hey, I'm on your page. I see that you're very active. And at first I thought it was spam, and he was a stranger. So anyway, I kind of blew him off for about a week, and then he was very persistent. So I finally said, okay. I said, if you're real, let's video chat. And so we video chat. I found he was a real person, and he introduced me to PHP through a very brief presentation. Again, it was exactly what I needed at that moment, because my focus in my business, I work with entrepreneurs. I work with people who have high income and they need something. And it was like I was always telling them about leveraging life insurance to reduce their taxes. However, even though I was licensed, I wasn't focused product wise. So PHP gives me the full range as far as life insurance, long-term care, retirement, and then also debt settlement. So now my accounting firm, we're like full service, more focused now on financial services than just, chasing the tax return.
So that was how you found PHP. Mm-hmm. Now, why did you choose PHP?
Really because it was an answer. I enjoyed really the setup, the system that it has in place. I've been in other situations with network marketing, and as well as in this industry of financial services. However, I enjoy the compensation plan, just being able to build, because I'm a builder. I like to give people an opportunity. So I thought that was very, very important. And then I just really enjoyed just how the whole setup, the system, the training, it was, like I said, it was everything that I really was looking for, especially just expanding upon what I already do.
And so how do you incorporate your relationship with God into both your accounting business and with PHP?
Oh man, I never separated. And you know what? To be honest with you, that is another icing on the cake. What I learned once I got inundated into PHP is that you don't have to separate. In fact, they very much encourage you to be very faith-driven. So I'm a very faith-driven woman, praying woman, very gifted in my own right. And so for me, I don't separate it, because I believe that in order to be successful, in order to be impactful, you have to have something greater than yourself that you can focus on, because entrepreneurship gets hard at times. And I just believe that with God, all things are possible.
What was your first year like in PHP as a single mother, as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, to be honest, it was a journey. It was a nice journey, right? Because you're building something new, you're excited. But what it did was it put me in proximity with other people who had been in my shoes that were now successful in the industry. You know, they're making the money that they're, dreamed of. They're able to take care of their families the way that they want to, not the way that they have to, right? And so having those examples really helped me in my first year to stick with it, not to allow for like a slow month to cause me to say, oh, let me go and find a job. So luckily I was able to just, let me tell you the story. So I joined PHP in September 2022. However, 7 days later, on a 3-way call, I was working as a full-time teacher, and on a 3-way call, I was actually fired.
Oh, really?
From my job. Yeah. However, I know it was a God thing because God had been like nudging me since the summer, like, hey, step out on faith, just do this 100%, meaning entrepreneurship. And I was like, I don't know, God. Like, I like the fact that I'm working a virtual job. I'm getting a paycheck. I have benefits. It's not too strenuous. However, it was in the way because my focus was split, and so my having a split mindset is not good at all, So anyway, once I got fired, it was like I had freedom. So I've kind of been full-time, meaning I haven't had my focus taken away from PHP for the first couple years, right? But the first year was really just being able to get in contact with people and have that proximity and being able to just learn a system beyond hustling and bustling. Because a lot of times in entrepreneurship, when you're first self-employed, right, it's just you as the employee, but then you're the boss too. You become a bad boss. You can. And so with PHP, with the system and the accountability and the leaders, they are very, very real, right? They're not going to try to sugarcoat things or make you feel good. They want to make sure that you keep your why in front of you, And so the first year, just being able to keep my why in front of me enabled me that second year to put my daughter in a private school. And now we're still in private school. We're building stability. We're around leaders who really are genuinely concerned with my success, my daughter's success, and it's really been working out. So the first year, it's been good. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking as well, how much did you make your first year with PHP, if you remember?
I do. My first year with PHP, my first full year with PHP, I made $16,000. Mm-hmm.
What was your first year like for you? What was it like experiencing that full time for the first time, as well as making that 16,000?
So, I mean, it was cool, but you got to think about it. I went from being $60,000 on a job that I didn't have to do really, right? Barely any work, plus having, of course, a 6-figure accounting firm to now, okay, I really want to focus in on this one part, which is financial services, and kind of feeling like I don't want to juggle both. So my first year making $16,000, it was okay, right? But I knew I had something else on the side, of course, supplementing. So I was still doing accounting work, and that was still my bread and butter because I really wanted to just make this work. $16,000 just helped me to know it's a real thing, and I need to stick with it and knuckle down and focus. And that's what I did. And year 2 was so much better.
What do you feel like made you successful within PHP? Mm-hmm. Both that first year and up till now? Because I know at our big event in Atlanta, you got your watch, your 50K watch.
Yeah, exactly.
And went up on stage and talked about it.
I know, right? Oh, that was like a shock. That was a surprise. I would just say, I tell people the secret sauce is GOD, grit over distraction. Like that is my phrase. God gave it to me in 2021 in 2020 during the pandemic. And it really has carried me here in PHP. So between that and keeping God first and having real conversations with leaders who, like I said before, is very much concerned with the success of what I have. And then I would say eliminating the posture of comparison. I think a lot of times when you're in a large group, it's very, very easy especially in our culture is big on recognition and celebrations. It'd be like the littlest thing they'll celebrate, right?
Yeah.
If it's the right behavior, they celebrate it because they want to intensify and multiply that. And so just getting I would say not comparing my success or my steps to other people. The minute I stopped doing that is when I was able to knuckle down and really start to make the income that I needed to make more consistently. Year 3, my focus is, again, of course, being strong in my personal writing and what I personally do, but also I really want to build a team because now I have proof of concept. And I think that's what I was missing. But I stuck around to figure it out, like, okay, there's something missing, but if I can get it, then I'm sure, I can have more success. So now I'm praying for guidance, right? I'm praying to God and thanking God in advance for like helping me to be the leader that I need to be and the example I need to be, not just for myself, but also for the upcoming team that's coming, because they've been watching. And that's the biggest thing. So I think consistency, discipline, having that connection to the right leaders and the right people keeping me accountable really helped me. But most importantly, it was God.
And so going more off of your finance and accounting background, what was something that really impressed you coming to PHP about both the company itself and how the Dallas office runs its location?
Oh, wow. So let me tell you, I originally was not in the Dallas office. I actually was, So when I was recruited, I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the person who recruited me lives in North Carolina. And so I was on Zoom for about the first 7 months of my career with PHP. It wasn't until I had moved, go back to the storyline, got fired in September, right? 7 days after joining PHP. 3 days later, moved to Arizona. Still building on Zoom, trying to figure this thing out. I literally a week later traveled to the Dallas office because I knew that's where the top earners for the company were. And so I was like, hey, I need to see what this is. And it was a real thing. I enjoyed the energy. And so at that moment I was like, God, why did I go to Arizona? I should have came to Dallas, right? So that's in 2022. And so it wasn't until I just kept sticking with it and then qualifying for different advanced trainings, whether it been on Zoom or if we had an event, being able to just have a little bit extra time. Then once I got in there to Dallas, that's when I just knew. So it wasn't until I went to our August convention at the MGM in 2023 that I was able to see Matt and Sheena Sapala on stage, and just really something was just calling me like, hey, your lease is about to be up. Let's just make this move. Trust me, I got you. And that was God, of course, talking. And so we've been moved here. Everything has been great ever since. So I'd say the biggest thing is, again, being able to have the example and being able to have the opportunity to kind of just see people. I moved here and they welcomed me with open arms. And so that was a big deal for me, because most companies, if they feel like they can't use you, quote unquote, then, they'll ignore you long enough until you leave. Again, these are real people who have come from real backgrounds, some worse than my situations, some not as intense as mine, but still with a heart posture, to help people and to help you in your God-given purpose. So I would just say the biggest thing was just knowing that these were real people and it was a real opportunity. It allowed me to trust the process and get to Dallas.
What is life insurance? Like, why have life insurance and what is it?
So the way I explain this to people is you need a backup, right? So on our phones, on our cars, you go and buy a TV, any type of electronic, they're always going to ask you, do you want insurance? Do you want a backup just in case something happens and you need it replaced or you need it repaired? That is life insurance. A backup for life. Now, a lot of people, they think about life insurance just for death. And what I enjoy is that our philosophy is, hey, we're bringing back life into life insurance, right? And so being able to tell people, hey, you need a backup for retirement. You need a backup for your health. You need a backup just in case your job doesn't offer you workers' comp, or even if they offer you workers' comp, wouldn't you want to have some money just in case you live through a medical trauma? Most people say yes, right? So
yeah, why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they, right? So insurance, life insurance is just that. It's just a backup. It's a great product. It's been around for over 2,000 years. And it's backed by insurance companies that have major assets to be able to pay out claims.
So what do you mean by 2,000 years?
Yeah, so it's been around for a very long time. If you go back in biblical days, in the days of war, whenever the soldiers came back, they had some level of insurance, some type of backup. They actually got paid. The annuity was actually introduced through, I think it's the Roman army.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think it was under under Caesar, I think.
Yeah.
It was something called annua.
Annua, exactly. And so again, with an annuity basically means like, hey, you don't want to run out of money, right? And so a way to compensate the soldiers when they were coming back, they provided them with an annuity, right? A backup plan, a way to be able to have a lifetime income stream. And life insurance companies, they offer that too.
And so I know this is something I've personally seen, but companies have stopped offering pensions altogether almost, which is both sad and also, I know, just more sad, because then what benefit do you get of staying there forever if you're not going to get a pension? There's no reward to working at that company forever anymore.
I know, right? I mean, it's just the way everything has advanced. Technology has advanced. I think the way that people even interact in the workplace has advanced. And it's just one of those things that is a dying benefit that we just aren't getting, especially in our group. We're young people. No one's giving us a pension when we go and sit for a job interview.
Especially not the big companies that can afford it, like Walmart. Walmart used to offer pensions under Sam Walton.
Yeah.
Before he passed away.
I was about to say he passed away. The next generation, they have their own vision, right? Mm-hmm. And then again, with these advancements, it's like, well, guess what? It's more important for us to save $1 than to take care of the people. So you got to think about the philosophy of how we used to be as well. Just as I'm speaking from American standpoint. You know, back in the day, we all used to barter and trade between each other. We used to, if you had a general store, but maybe I was a sharecropper, right? I could leverage your store in order to sell my crops, right? We don't do a lot of that. Now you have so many different corporations, and if you're not organized, then you miss out. And that's really what that is. I mean, but people with life insurance, the beauty is, and what I learned is like, oh, I can help a person create a pension, not just a pension, but a tax-free pension. Because you got to remember, those pensions causes people to have to pay taxes. Mm-hmm. So I have some of my elders, they have Social Security. And the reason why they come to me is because they have a pension. Even though the pension may not be paying a whole lot, it's the fact that a pension is considered earned income, which makes it taxable.
That sucks to hear.
I know, right?
Because it's essentially, quote unquote, free money that you get for staying at that company forever.
But it's not free money because you're going to pay taxes on it. Like, you earn the right to have that pension, but that's the reason why those pensions are not there anymore either. You see?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of what we do, is we help people to not just create a pension, but a tax-free pension, not just a tax-free pension for yourself, but also a tax-free pension that can be passed to your next generation.
Can you tell me more about what do you mean by passing it to the next generation?
Yeah, because it's life insurance. So essentially, when you're passing a pension, right, a tax-free pension from one generation, what I'm looking at is the product that we're using in order to do that. So in life insurance, you're able to grow money tax-free in this thing called cash value. And from there, again, if you need to borrow from it, to use to do repairs on the home or whatever, it's really, you can do it. You can take a loan out, you can do your thing. Now, let's say you pass away too early, prematurely. Structured properly, the beneficiaries will receive the unused funds as a death benefit versus as like if you inherited your parents' 401k.
And so then that 401k has to be taxed, but the life insurance doesn't.
Life insurance is not taxed, exactly.
So would you say that's one of the ways that the rich people of today are creating generational wealth for their children and their grandchildren? I
would say the rich people of yesteryears and today, because it's been around for so long.
True.
And it's so broad. But a lot of, like I said, most people, and especially in marginalized communities, they see it as, I have to die for this to pay out. So that's why statistics shows like 52% of Americans right now don't have a life insurance policy. And I believe it's because of the programming and the perception of how do you use it in life.
And so expanding more on that, what would you say one of the common misunderstandings behind people not getting life insurance or not wanting life insurance is?
Taboo. Some people, if you get life insurance means I'm gonna die, Yeah, you're gonna die. We all will at some point, right? It could be just not knowing, or again, the programming around your family. Maybe your family doesn't believe in life insurance, but I think majority of people who are becoming more financially sound, and people like myself and yourself, like us getting out more in the community, letting people know about life insurance and how to use it during life, right? Versus putting our money and exposing it to lose it. We just need more people doing that. But people hesitate because maybe they don't know or they don't trust the people that they're learning about it from.
What age do you believe people should start getting life insurance at, if possible?
As soon as they're born. So
really?
Yeah, my daughter, I've had life insurance on my daughter. She has multiple policies. You can get a policy as young as age 15 days old.
Oh wow, really?
Yes. You can start right then, right? And so when she was like her first month, I opened up like 3 bank accounts. I made a big deal about it on Facebook. I remember it like it was yesterday. I took pictures and I was like, look at her. She's, creating whatever. This is before I knew about PHP. Now, then I had life insurance, but I didn't really have like the good stuff. I had like a Gerber plan, right?
Yeah.
I had like the very basic, just little plans. But once I learned that, hey, instead of me putting money over in these savings accounts, I can actually leverage life insurance, strengthen the growth factor of what I'm doing for my daughter. Sign me up. Let's go. So yeah, I mean, I say as soon as a person can know about it and can at least start with something, do it. Especially for kids, because their cost of insurance is so low. Oh my goodness. It's like nothing. It's like $20 a month, if that, like the cost to have the insurance. Yeah. Now for the insurance to do what you want it to do, whether it's, hey, I want to build up a college fund for my child, or I want to use this to build up a pension for my child, or I want to use this so that when she gets married, she gets to go, she gets to,
like on the honeymoon of her dreams and the wedding of her dreams or whatever.
Exactly.
I want to expand real quick on what you said a little bit ago. Like, how can you use life insurance to fund a college education or to fund a college savings plan? Yeah,
it's all about planning. It's all about transparency planning. So I tell people, once you get educated and this is what you want to do, then let's assess it and let's start. Right? So let me figure out where you currently are. Where are we trying to go? Where can we start to get us to where we're trying to go? Start there. Each year, we may add a little bit more. We may have to expand a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, you should start.
How can anybody earn extra money with PHP if they wanted to?
Oh, listen, we need more people. Honestly, we need more people that are interested in coming into an industry to help people. We have a licensing process, of course, but the biggest thing is just to connect with someone who is a partner, who's affiliated, in order to become a business partner with us. And then from there, just getting plugged in, whether it be in the local office or being able to use our more hybrid model in order to get connected and to grow in the industry. But the biggest thing is we want to get them licensed, right? And then we want to be able to help them introduce what they're doing to their family and friends first, right?
Yeah.
Because, hey, how are you going to go and sell something to strangers and your own family and friends? They don't even know you offer
Especially
it.
if you don't believe in it. Or if you don't have it.
Yeah, and you don't have it, right? How can you sell something you don't have? So yeah, we want to get people licensed, make sure that, they have a good understanding about the business model, and we want to understand their why. The biggest thing is like, well, why do you want to do this? And well, what is it that you want to do? And I'm going to tell you, some people it's not a good fit, but most people, as long as they really truly are looking for a change, it becomes a good fit.
And so with this job, there are multiple earners, not just within our office, but the company as well, who earn 6 figures. And so a lot of entrepreneurs, they'll say, in order to make 6 figures, you have to spend 6 figures in order to get there.
Well, I wouldn't call it a job. So this is like a business model.
Exactly. Yeah. So for example, those entrepreneurs, when it takes, like say it takes $100K for them to earn their first $100K, what would you say the startup costs for PHP are in comparison to that?
Nothing. For my accounting firm, my first year, I spent close to $60,000, and that was through trainings, software, trying this software, trying that software. For here, earnestly, to really get a good start, getting your license, maybe getting a couple licenses under you. I mean, $1,000, $2,000 can go a long way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to just get started to launch the business is only $199. So imagine, like, if I tell my tax clients, if you need something so you can start offsetting, let's launch your business and then we'll work through the rest later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a good $1,000, $2,000 will help a person really get their foot wet, in this industry.
And so why do you think doing this could be a good idea for someone who's never even considered a career in sales before?
Most definitely, because it's a stable career. It's a recession-proof career choice, right? It's been around forever. Everything that we do has some type of insurance tied to it. So I think that stability-wise, and in the economy we in today, people want stability, and it does offer that. Also, just being able to build something that you can pass to your next generation, right? I think is very, very powerful. My daughter was on stage with me in Atlanta, as you talked about.
Awesome to see it. Adorable.
But she's excited about PHP. She keeps me on my toes because she knows she's gonna be working in the business too. This model, like I said, because of the stability of the life insurance industry, the model that PHP offers us is such a strong model, very thoughtful, meaningful model that it allows for the youth to say, hey, I have an opportunity too one day to be a player in PHP. Mm-hmm.
What was it like doing this as a single mother? How did it affect your relationship with your daughter, with your relationship with your other family as well?
So it's different when you're building a business from scratch versus when you're walking into and you're building the business, being able to leverage. So when I was building it from scratch, it seemed like I had less chatter from my family. I'm not saying that they were so supported either.
Yeah.
Less chatter. Now, my family, when they do have chatter, the chatter may be like, oh, you're giving so much time over there with that PHP thing, But other than that, I would say it's been great because even with that chatter, as long as the results are there, it makes sense. And that's the biggest thing, is that I'm not having to start it from scratch. There's a proof of concept, and I stand on my truth on that.
And then would you say that doing this with PHP has given you more time to spend with your daughter outside of work-related stuff?
At this point, it has allowed for me to create those boundaries. Before, like I said, when I was, totally independent, man, I worked before she woke up, as soon as I could get her to school or whatever, and I'm working again, and then she get home and I'm working again. Now we're at a point in a place where I'm not working as hard so long having to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's not, so that basically sounds like it's not a hard job. It's not a complicated job. It's just talking to people, right? Just talking to people, let them know what's going on.
Yeah. And I have a real thing. So I'm not selling lotions and potions. And it's something I can stay believing in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I think that's it for me. I think that's all the questions I have right now.
Okay. Well, Mikey, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
If you ever need me again, I want to come back.
Yes, ma'am, we'll do.
And congratulations on your new show.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.